Gibi. This is Luigi. He's our sleepy 14-year-old Chihuahua mix. He was so cozy, I figured I would bring him along for today's video. I'm doing a little meditation called Moonlight Library. It's really mentally visual, so it'll be perfect to close your eyes and just listen to. You can probably hear Luigi breathing quite deeply. If you hear any moans and groans, I'll try to edit those out, but he's a very groany old man. I hope you enjoy. Sleep well. Let's begin. Grand Chamber. As your eyes adjust to the soft evening light, all you can see is books. They fill every corner of the old building. Great shelves of rich wood rise tall above you. Labeled with gold initials, polished shelves hold the books in neat order. Thick red carpets cushion the floor, complementing the glossy brown of all the mahogany shelves. It's so cozy here. Bronze spiral staircases lead from the ground of the grand chamber up to higher levels of balconies for more books. A beautiful window looks onto the whole chamber. The panes of stained glass form a giant blue book opened onto the library. As moonlight shines through the window, it appears that the white pages glow. Balcony view. From the upper balconies, you can see how big the library really is. Seen from above, the tops of the bookshelves form simple shapes for different sections of the library. A spiral for books on botany, a star for astronomy. Any book you can think of, any book you want, is just waiting for you, tucked away on a shelf right here. Lush carpets muffle footsteps as people look for a good book. Gold ladders catch the light and shine as they slide along the shelves. As you gaze up from the balcony, you notice the beautiful ceiling of the library. Inset with tiles of precious stone, the patterned ceiling curves into a dome. Silver stars interlock, outlined with a blue gilt of lapis lazuli all the way across the circular ceiling. At its apex, a round window lets a few real stars peek into the library. Long ago, when the Moonlight Library was new, people read by the light of candles. In the oldest books, you might even catch the faintest whiff of candle wax. With electricity, it's much easier for us to read through the night, and there's far less risk of accidents. Gold chandeliers hang from the ceiling of the Moonlight Library. If you look closely at the intricate swirling patterns, you can see vines and roses clustered around the light bulbs. Crystal beads decorate the chandeliers, scattering drops of light around you. How elegant. There are more lamps, placed at perfect points along the bookshelves and reading nooks. These lamps have brass stands with lampshades of cool green glass. They cast pools of light on the space beneath them. No matter where you are in the library, there's always enough light for reading. Reading nooks. In this huge library, there's space for everyone to be comfortable. Reading nooks provide cozy spots to curl up with a book. Here is a plush armchair between a row of encyclopedias. The armchair is made from violet velvet with a footstool to match. If you look closely, you can see little silver stars in the dark fabric of the furniture, as though pieces of the cool night sky had been fashioned into a place for you to rest. The armchair has a high back, slightly tilted, so you can really relax. A little table next to the armchair is the perfect place for a cup of tea or maybe another 3 books for you to page through. In the middle of the chamber, you stumble onto another reading nook. On a round pastel blue rug, you see piles of plush pillows made from the comfiest cotton. These pillows are yellow and orange and rosy pink. Lounging on the fluffy blue carpet with these warm colors around you, it's as though you're resting in the middle of a sunset. What lovely reading nooks for visitors to the Moonlight Library. Soft sounds. Soft sounds fill the library like dried mint steeping in a teapot, slowly infusing the warm water. Listen to the rustle of pencils taking notes and all those pages turning. Listen to the gentle brush of branches against the library windows. The great trees growing around the library shift in the wind. Tall as the roof of the library, birch and pine sway back and forth in the breeze. Tranquil. Pine trees with long evergreen needles. Birch trees with white bark peeling away in soft clumps. They all appear silver under the moonlight. And then there's the soft click of the grand clock in the library chamber. Opposite the stained glass mural, the grand clock stands tall, overlooking the library. Carved from a giant sapphire stone, the face of the clock sparkles blue. The numbers, finely shaped in silver, seem like constellations in the night sky. Long hands make their slow rounds on the clock, but there's always enough time for another book. Shelves. The shelves of the Midnight Library carry any book you could want. Volumes of poetry, their pages interleaved with loose notebook pages of ideas and interpretations, scribbled in pencil from past readers. Encyclopedias, uniform with fancy gold lettering on their spines. Enough novels to fill a lifetime and more. Tales of love and adventure all wrapped up in cozy bindings. Carts of old paperbacks, the pages yellowed with age, while the covers shine bright with colors like new snapdragons. Look at all these books on their polished mahogany shelves. One shelf seems to be arranged by hue. Violet on the left, turning to red all the way through the color spectrum. When you look closer, you see these books are organized alphabetically, like the other shelves are, meaning this rainbow has occurred just by chance, as real rainbows do. How lovely. Other shelves seem more like bouquets of different flowers, colors and textures held together. It might seem random, but just like a bouquet, these shelves were arranged with great care. It's the little asymmetries that make them truly beautiful. Librarians collect and care for every book here, for readers like you. Old books. As you breathe in and out, you notice the soft smell of books, of paper and ink stacked all around you. Some of these books are even older than the Moonlight Library. Their covers faded and dusty. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, somebody wrote and stitched all these pages together by hand for you to appreciate. Stories passed down and down to you and anyone else who wishes to read. These books lived in the world, and you can see how time changed them. You open one book, and a fine orange dust puffs up. This book must have traveled through a desert to come to the library. Another book smells of salt, as though it crossed an ocean to arrive in your hands. You can imagine the book kept safe in a trunk on a great ship. What a treasure. In a very old book, you notice 2 layers of ink on each page. One dark black, and another nearly faded away. The original ink must have faded over time, hundreds of years ago. Someone carefully copied out the sentences with a fresh pen. In this ancient book, it's as though every letter has its own shadow. How wonderful to preserve all this knowledge for the future. The crystal shelf. As an archive, the Moonlight Library has collected some very special books. You can see them there, displayed on a crystal shelf in the grand chamber. The books are old and rather rare, but you can still read them. Let's take a look at one. The Story of Scent. Print is so faded that you can't quite make out the words, but it's actually better to smell it. This fantastical book captures beautiful perfumes from across the world. On one page lies watercolor swirls of orange and yellow. You can smell citrus trees blooming on a warm day. So warm that the lemon and tangerine blossoms seem like a sugary syrup. Little white flowers cut from silk cover. Little white flowers cut from silk cover another page of the book. It smells of jasmine on a rainy afternoon. The perfume is so fresh and pure, you can almost taste the water. As you turn the next page, the soothing scent of lavender envelops you like a cashmere blanket. A violet grid embroiders the paper, carefully stitched with rich purple thread. You can almost feel a breeze wafting through a lavender field as you appreciate the calming